alternates, just so we can maximize our grant funding. Those included things such as HVAC in the stairwell, door replacements, door canopy, and stucco paint on the exterior. The basement also included a roof for the electrical room, which we recently enclosed to get some more storage space. So the basement came in at $1,025,000, and the total bulk clad units was $512,000. So the FAA portion of the grant, we would like to award the base bid contingent on receipt of the FAA grant, which we'll be applying for in short order. And then we are going to pursue some FDOT grant funds for the alternates at $512,000. So the resolution today is to award the contracts to the construction group additionally upon receipt of those funds. So the base bid will be awarded conditioned on receipt of the FAA funds. The FDOT bid will be awarded conditioned on receipt of those funds. So that is resolution number what? Resolution number 071926.
Okay, before I open up, I just ask one clarification. You typically said Garber determined responsible and responsive. I assume the staff agrees.
Staff agrees, legal agrees, everyone took a look at it.
Right. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion on this? Discussion, would you all like to discuss? Or did you want Yes,
I would, two questions.
please.
Where is Allen Construction headquartered, and have they done any work here before?
They have not done work here. We have spoken with Palm Beach International. They've done quite a bit of work up there, and the Department of Aeronautics seems to be happy with them. Either Davie.
They are at
Davie,
They're
yeah.
only Davie, so look, south.
South.
And if I may make clear, they are available online right now, virtually participating telephonically if there are any questions that that they need to answer directly.
My question was, in the years past, when we almost got there, we ran into trouble getting the glazing, special windows, hurricane impact, blah, blah, blah. I'm glad they're getting it.
Yeah, and maybe John, if you want to come to the podium and say a little bit about some of the specs and why this time we think we might have a better shot at getting the windows done, you know.
Yes, thank you. Just to clarify a little bit on that question. Yeah, we did take a look at the last round of specs and talking with Scott, Travis, and all staff here. We identified a couple of things that we thought that could be improved and make it a little bit more biddable. We also engage, we have a tower consultant on our consulting team with the airport authority. We engage them, they engage a glazing contractor that does air traffic control towers. They are not going to be involved with the bid on this project at all, but they advised us on some things to make this more constructible, more biddable. So we introduced all that, and looks like hopefully it was successful.
Good, Gee.
Yes, how soon do you think we'll get these grants that we've seen?
The reason we're having a special meeting this afternoon is because of the very tight timelines that the FAA has imposed for the grant application. So we have a grant application ready for my signature for this afternoon, pending the results of this meeting. Since we had a conversation yesterday with the FDOT regarding some potential funds with FDOT, we're going to have to adjust some of the numbers in the grant application for FAA. There's a maximum of $1.6 million available in FAA funding. We're going to maximize that. But we also want to maximize the FDOT funding opportunities, or the request at least. So the FAA portion, we will apply for those grants this afternoon. And they have told us that they will need us to be sort of under grant. Their intent is to issue the grant notice to us for Amy and me to execute by the end of the month of September. So as soon as we receive those grants, we'll be able to issue a notice to proceed. In the meantime, we'll be working with the contractor and the legal on the contract documents, et cetera. So we'll be able to begin the work as soon as the grant funding is received.
So you're anticipating that to be in September?
Yes.
both grants?
Well, the FDOT grants, we're not certain of. We just had a conversation yesterday on the bid alternate portion that we intend to apply for. But our understanding is that there is an opportunity for us to get at least a good portion of that amount to be able to complete the bid alternates as identified in the memo.
Is it dependent on getting that grant?
Yes, I mean, if there's an appetite for the board to come back and self-fund the bid alternates, we can come back to the board and have that conversation. And we'll know a little bit more about the opportunity or the realistic, expectation as it relates to the state grants, once we submit the email to them and see what they say. But we can always come back to this board and say, while we have the contractor in place, it may make sense to complete at least portion of the work, if not all of the work, that we've had as part of the bid alternates, but it would be a self-funding scenario as opposed to trying to maximize the grant funding.
Based on it, what would the payout schedule look like as far as work?
To the contractor?
Yes,
John, do you have the other contract terms, assuming we award the whole thing?
Yeah, so the whole thing is a little over 1.5 million. That the details and the specifics will have to be worked out when we start the submittal process, but the contract time itself is for 240 days of after a 30-day mobilization period. And then there's a 30-day closeout period on that. So the better part, the active work is really going to happen over the span of 240 days in 2 different phases.
Can you speak a little bit to the schedule and how we're coordinating that with everything?
Yeah, so the reason for that delay is really the long lead time on the glazing. The cab glazing is going to take a little bit of time for fabrication and delivery on site. So that 240 days encompasses a day work period, which is all the work that does not directly affect the cab operation during their day and their operating hours. Phase 2 is all night work, the cab glazing replacement, the roofing replacement on the cab itself. We're replacing an old roof hatch that Travis has wrestled with many times over. All of that work that directly impacts the cab is all night work, and that's phase 2. So a lot of that duration, we're allowing the contractor to have the time to build certain ancillary parts of the project during the day while we're waiting on the glass to be fabricated and delivered on site.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of a timeline here. So it's 240 days, is that what you said? Yeah, approximately 240 days, but some work has to take place before that 240 days kicks off.
Correct. So yes, there's a constraint on phase 2, which phase 2 being the night work that cannot occur in the first 110 calendar days of that 240-day period.
Okay, let's put it another way.
Okay.
Once we get approval, let's assume, the sun and the moon stars
Grants
are
in
all
September.
we get the approvals that we're looking for. How long before this project is complete?
So assuming we're under grant by September 30?
It should be, it'd be 200 or 300 days, sorry. Well, all told from NTP on NTP 1 through final completion, with substantial completion occurring 30 days prior to that.
So next summer.
10 months.
So what do you say, son?
voice of God.
That was Randy. I said 10 months.
Oh, okay.
The math guy.
All right, I think we're ready to vote
I
then.
think we have.
Is somebody else?
No,
Oh, we're not, sorry.
Is there going to be any disruption to the traffic control?
I think what's with we just mentioned, we're trying to minimize the work in the cab until the second phase, so that it can be done at night when they're not in the cab.
We're going to replace the windows at night.
That is the
Yeah.
plan.
One pane at a time.
One plane a night,
Same
5
P
days,
and
no,
P
5
and
days.
E.
And plywood or blue tarps allows for the movie glass in place to look through when they reopen.
So this be see-through glass.
Ultimately, ideally.
Okay.
And are we generally in agreement that we would explore this opportunity for state grants before we
Indeed, yes,
went
we,
ahead to?
yes, we are.
But it does not sound.
We're going to have a team huddle immediately after this meeting so that we
Okay.
can structure the request to FDOT so that, we can maximize those opportunities. No guarantees.
Actually,
Because this is not funding that had been programmed as part of our normal 5-year capital plan. So this is what we term new money or found money. But there seems to be an opportunity and the state is prioritizing projects that are like this one, ready to go as soon as the funding is available. So there's a bid in hand. So they like to fund projects that they know are going to be truly happening. So that I think we should compete very favorably.
great. Are we ready for a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Great, it passes unanimously.
And following on that, Mr. Chair, we will just need a motion to accept the FAA grant when offered.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Move forward then. We have, that's all we got. That's it. Oh my goodness. In that case, is there any public comment today, Emma?
There are not.
Any additional comments from our board members? Yes, sir.
I do. I think, the only thing I've seen in my career in the FAA, when they do windows in the tower cab, most of the time they don't go well. And they have a temporary control tower, make the thing go faster. Robinson Aviation that has the contract to book a tower is the temporary control tower guru that the FAA uses. And it's a little mobile trailer with a little percolator top on top. And it might be a good backup plan to have.
Just so everybody knows,
I was just gonna say.
that's Lenny Knight, former air traffic controller, FAA, and here, and also the president of Local Regional Pilots Association.
Great, thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
comment. We have that for the record. In that case, if we have no other business, we are adjourned.
Nice.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Finally.